What's going on, horror gang? Welcome to I Shot Him Six Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host, Marcus. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification icon to get all the latest content updates to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be discussing whether the ending of Scream 5 was actually depicted out of the real life murders of the two guys who depicted their murders out of the Scream movie. Before I do that, let's hit that intro. I shot him 6 times. Alright, horror gang, let's get into it. So as we all know, the ending of Scream 5, the motive for Amber and Richie committing these murders, was built on toxic fandom. They were unsatisfied with how the sequels to Stab/Scream turned out, and they wanted to recreate the magic that the original Stab/Scream created for horror movie fans. But was the ending of Scream 5 depicted on real life events? Let's take a deeper dive. So on the bottom of this overlay that I have presented before you is a picture of Brian Draper, Tori Adamsick, and Casey Jo Stoddard. If you do not know this story, and I will leave a link in the description of this documentary so you can go check it out, Brian Draper and Tori Adamsick killed Casey Jo Stoddard in Casey Becker style fashion, and even admitted to authorities that they got the idea for this murder based on Scream 1996 itself. So, after watching Scream 5 obviously a handful of times already, and watching this ending over and over again, it dawned on me, am I seeing this ending depict real life events? And the reason why I believe that Spyglass Media, Guy Busick, and the whole team did decide to depict this ending off real life events is somewhat as an homage to what Wes Craven did by creating Scream. For a lot of us Scream fans, we all know that Scream was created by Wes Craven based on the Florida Gainesville Ripper, which is Danny Rawling. That's where Wes came up with the concept and the idea for the Ghostface Killer. So it would not surprise me, and we all know that they had a lot of homages to Wes and they wanted to honor Wes so much in this movie. It would not surprise me if the ending was depicted off of these real life events, because if you think about it, and if you watch this documentary, it's almost an exact mirage of Scream 5's ending. Scream 5 ending is an exact mirage of these murders, basically. These friends were so obsessed with the original movie that they literally wanted to recreate the movie themselves. They even, if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to go back and watch it again. It's been a while since I watched this documentary. But if I'm not mistaken, they even had more victims lined up. They were really going to go on a killing spree. Casey was just the first, obviously, of many victims. If I'm not mistaken, they had more lined up. They were literally going to go on a killing spree that recreated the entire Scream 1996 movie. What does that sound like, you guys? That sounds exactly like Scream 5. Amber and Richie's whole motive was because they hated the sequels to Stab and they wanted to recreate what the original Stab put forth on film. So it would not surprise me at all as an homage, and some might not like the fact that they, went in this direction as an homage to Wes Craven, but Wes Craven, much to his credit and discredit, if you wanted to say that, he based the Ghostface Killer off of real life events. So it would not surprise me if these guys went in the direction of basing their ending off of real life events as a direct homage to what Wes Craven did by creating this franchise based on a real life character. It does not surprise me at all. And like I said, you watch this documentary and then go watch Scream 5 and you will see so many similarities between the ending of Scream 5 and these real life events. Now, I want to point out, for a lot of those people who did not like the Scream 5 ending, who said it didn't make sense. There's no way that fans of horror movies will just decide to up and kill. Well, I'm providing you evidence that this is real. Toxic fandom is a real situation here in the world. Sometimes you have people who are so in love with these movies and so in love with these scenes, they are really willing to go out here and portray it themselves. Not in cosplay, like in a positive fashion, to where you're just acting. They literally go out here and commit these style of crimes and want the notoriety and want the thrill to see what the thrill feels like. There's really people out here, believe it or not, who do this and are like that. And it's not just even in the horror community. We've seen it in the Batman franchise with that guy who shot up all those people in the movie theater, based on, if I'm not mistaken, a Joker. Toxic fandom, for those of you who did not like the Scream 5 ending and said, oh, it didn't make sense, there's no way, I hope I'm providing you a prime example that this ending does make sense, and that situations like this are going on in the world a lot more than we know. There's so many of this stuff happening that we probably don't even know about that makes front page news. But it definitely is a real thing. So for those of you who were confused by the Scream 5 ending and it, the whole toxic fandom motive did not make sense to you, like I said, I'm going to leave a link in the description for this documentary on the real life Scream killers. And maybe that will put into some perspective for you that toxic fandom is a real thing in the world. And it's unfortunate because as horror fans, I wouldn't sit here and imagine me being so obsessed with the opening scene of Scream 1996 to where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out here and recreate the scene and kill my friend in that style of fashion and then kill my whole town. I'd rather just get on a YouTube channel and talk about it. But that's me. That's not everybody else. Some people do really get, obsessed and dwarfed into this world that they want to commit these style of crimes and be exactly like the movie. And it's unfortunate because it doesn't have to be that way. But my whole point is that it is a real situation, guys. Okay, guys, that's a wrap for this video. Now, before leaving a comment, what I really want you to do is hit that link in the description and check out that documentary on the real life Scream killers. It's a sad and truly fascinating story on how toxic fandom is a real thing, especially when it comes to movies and cinema. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So also hit that notification bell so you get all the latest content on the channel. This is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host Marcus, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys.